Last month, I challenged myself to conquer my fear of the ocean in exchange for a hoard of shiny prizes, and it went swimmingly. But after packing my beaches with would-be donations, I got to thinking, how long would it take to actually complete a museum exhibit? But not just any old exhibit. I'm talking dinosaurs. Which is great because I'm now banned from the ocean forever. So after submitting my application to become Blathers' newest research assistant, I knew I really needed to look the part. For this expedition, I have become Doug. And I'm going to be the greatest fossil fighter of all time. I gotta find them all. And isn't it so nice that Thomas and the boys let us pick out our own excavation site? Surely this will be the one with all the easy to find fossils. Seems like we'll need to do some setting up around the excavation site before we can really dig in though. So I got my tent from Thomas and the boys, met my assistants, neighbors, and gathered fruit for the sick Dinoland welcoming party. But we can't stay up too late, so after a good night's sleep, and definitely no close encounters of the scorpion kind, we're ready for the first day on the job. First we'll need to actually open the Dinoland Museum, so we'll go catch some fish. There will be no bugs caught or donated on my watch. I guarantee it. We'll also work on paying off and upgrading our tent to an actual home. After sprucing up the place, Blathers finally took notice of our efforts on Dinoland and opened the museum. He's agreed to take me under his wing and show me what it takes to become a true fossil fighter. Now, the real fun can begin. There's 4 fossils to dig up around the excavation site every day, sometimes a 5th if you're like me and forget to log in for a couple days. Some fossils are locked on higher tiers until we get the ladder, but I can still get a head start on donations without it. There's 73 fossils in total we'll be looking for, 21 skeletons made up of 59 pieces, and 14 standalone fossils. Fossil spawns are totally random, and there's no way to increase your odds of finding any specific fossil, so we'll just have to hope we get lucky. I'm hoping to complete this expedition in less than 10 hours, because I'm just that dedicated. With my shovel in one hand, pole vault in the other, I'm ready to take on anything. I'm still learning the best route for searching the excavation site, and I decided to leave all the weeds since the fossils can't spawn where the weeds grow. Surely that'll make the fossils easier to see, right? Seems like Blathers' prediction was right though, and the site really is overflowing with new discoveries. Never doubted you for a second, buddy. With new fossils like the iguanodon skull and torso, brachiopelvis, and the mammoth torso donated, day 1 of this expedition is officially a success. Since the ladder is locked behind Thomas and the boys' laborious chores, we'll need to spend a little time working on story next. By day 3, the shop's finally under construction, and we definitely won't sell everything via Dropbox to avoid awkwardly listening in to unskippable dialogue between NPCs. On the bright side, we donated another 7 fossils to the museum. The ankylotorso, diplochest, triceros skull, stego skull, and the plesio skull. Now that's what I call using your head. We also donated 2 standalone fossils, the Dunkleostis and Sharktooth pattern. Once Thomas caught wind of the shop's construction though, he asked us to set down the bridge and find spots for more research assistants. And I'm just like, what? No way am I gonna do that. Again. Why am I making space for more lazy assistants? I already have 2. How many more do I need? So the other houses stayed in my pockets and never moved again. Thomas isn't my boss anyway, what's he gonna do? Anyway, now with the ladder recipe, we can get that 1 fossil off the cliff. So far, the excavation site has been very generous with its fossils. It's like I'm swimming in them. Oh yeah! After donating the Deinonychus torso, Stegotorso, Plesiotail, and T-Rex skull, Blathers, blown away by our tenacity, promoted us to first research assistant. And a fine pair of researchers need a proper building, and Blathers in all its wonder decided to upgrade to a grand museum. Unfortunately, that means fossil assessments will have to wait for a few days. But I'll just dump the extras in front of the museum until it's done. Y'all better be something good. I have to say, these fossils have really been making me work for it. After running around the entire site like a big dummy loser, the last fossil I needed was right in front of resident services the entire time. But that's okay. I was able to donate the Parasaur skull, Archelon tail, and Deinonychus tail, which completed the Deinonychus display, and you know what that means. As the first display completed, it's earned the title of least problematic. Good for you, Deinonychus. Keep up the good work. After just a week of digging around the site, we've been able to donate 24 fossils, as well as completing our first display. I know the odds are still high for fossils to be new right now, but I was feeling pretty confident in my fossil finding abilities. Blathers has never seen an assistant as efficient as me before. And again on the next day, the Pachycephalosaurus was done. Boom! 2 back-to-back. I'm a professional. And I guess the Megacerotorso and Dinosaur track were there too, but whatever. I can't say it enough, but I really couldn't believe how lucky I was getting. Don't you just hate it when you assess your fossils and 2 of them are new and you realize they're the exact same fossil? Like, it shows up as 2 new fossils because you haven't donated it yet, but it's really just 1 new fossil. Since everything is still new to me, I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet. And over the course of the week, I was able to donate the Quetzal torso, T-Rex torso, Diploneck, Dimetrodon skull, Parasaur torso, Juramea, Archelon skull, and T-Rex tail. That makes 35 fossils now, which means we're just over halfway through this expedition. We also completed the Archelon and T-Rex on the same day, which earns them the Twins Award. Look at them, they're nearly identical. Side note, you know earlier how I said there were only 4 fossils to dig up if you log in every day? Yeah, what's this? This is the 2nd day in a row I found a 5th fossil around the site. I'm not complaining, trust me, but why are you here? Do you think I'm not logging in? That I'm not showing up to work? How dare you? I mean, still grabbing them though. Free fossils are free fossils. I was able to donate the Spinoskull, Diplo tail tip, and Trilobite this day, making each of these displays nearly finished. And the next day after scouring the island, I donated the Stegotorso and Diplo tail, and completed both of these fossils. This is getting kind of ridiculous. We just completed 2 fossils on the same day, and now these 2 are going to do the same thing? Y'all get the Copycat Award, how about that? These fossils don't play around. As week 2 was ending, I donated the Iguanodon torso and Terra body, which completed the Iguanodon display. By now I'd completed 7 total displays and donated 42 fossils. In just 4 hours. With progress ahead of schedule, I have no doubt in my mind we can complete our expedition in the next few hours. Day 15 started like any other day. Wake up, run like mad looking for fossils, and then wake up Blathers to assess my fossils. Next day I did the same thing again, only this time, everything changed. There were no new fossils to donate. None. Despite the fact that this day was long overdue, I was devastated. It was like all the magic was just gone. But as the first research assistant, I knew this was the sign to work even harder than before. Okay, Blathers. I brought you some fossils. Please tell me there's something in there you want. Seems like luck is on our side again, and I donated the left Terra wing, left Megalotorso, and Spinotorso. And a special award for hard to pronounce for no reason goes to this thing we donated. Hey. Yeah, you. Remember me, Doug? The weeds you ignored so you could find your fossils? How's that working out, huh? Ooh, yeah. Did I say that? Like, all those words? Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, whatever I said about the weeds, I take it all back. I don't even remember how many times I'd make multiple laps around the excavation site just to find a fossil in an area full of weeds. To make matters worse, I spent forever looking for my last fossil only to find it right next to the museum the entire time, and none of those fossils were even new. I got so panicked sometimes that I would double back through areas I'd just been in just in case I forgot something, which most of the time was nothing. Thankfully, the next day I was able to forget about some of my grass troubles and get back to my research. In just under 5 hours, we've donated a total of 51 fossils to the museum, and I have to say, not trying to toot my own horn, but I think Blathers is going to need to think about giving us an honorary award as well. With data like this, there's no way I won't be able to complete this expedition in under 10 hours. Why do I hear boss music? I know right now it's a lot of first I found this and then I found that, but really that's all I'm doing. And as much as I love running around looking for new fossils, it's about the same level as fun as watching paint dry. But going into the first month of the job, I knew I needed to step it up. Get my head in the game. I needed to show Blathers he picked the right assistant, and boy did we deliver. To recap, we've been averaging at least 3 fossils a day, and now with 51 fossils donated, or roughly 80% of the exhibit, our odds of discovering anything new is extremely small. So to all my math wizards out there, how many fossils do you think we donated this week? 2? 3? This week, we were able to donate a whopping 11 fossils to the museum, as well as completing the Megacerops, Ptera, Mammoth, and Ankylosaurus displays. Is it me? Am I the magic? And what about these other assistants? What have they ever done for the expedition? Get them out of here. Only professionals allowed on Dinoland. This is serious business, you hear? The next day didn't turn up much, but I anticipated this. Let's try again. Okay. Weird. Huh. And that's when I realized I was in big trouble. For as good as the luck had been so far, it was basically non-existent now. I managed to finish off a couple of displays here and there, but gone were the days of multiple new donations a day. And by this point, most fossils were only missing one more piece to be completed. Except one. Expedition log, day 44. It's been 5 days since we found our last fossil. Rumors say a shifty figure's been hanging around the excavation site lately. I believe this figure is responsible for the stall in my donations by replacing my fossils with duplicates. But this shifty fellow shan't get them all. And for being the dino to break our streak, the Plesiosaurus gets the Dino Drought Breaker Award. With the Plesiosaurus now on exhibition, there are only 5 displays left to complete. But every day I can sense Blathers growing more and more anxious for the next discovery. I must double my efforts, or I risk losing my position. Can't let one of these amateurs take my hard-earned spot. Well, Blathers must be shining his light down on me because we went back to back with new discoveries. We donated the last fossils we needed for the Brachiosaurus, donated our first saber-tooth fossil, that's 49 days in by the way, and also completed the Dimetrodon. You know what? I don't even want to give out this award, but Sabertooth, you've earned the Slow and Steady Award. Now get out of here. Now, for anyone wondering, no, I didn't visit any mystery islands for extra fossils. I thought about it at first, but it was just too much time spent on maybe one new fossil, and by the time I reset after a mystery island, I could have already found 4 more fossils on my own excavation site. The Dinoland Museum only accepts premium, grade A fossils found only at reputable sources such as the Dinoland excavation site. Fossils of any other origin don't meet the museum's high standards. Expedition log, day 54. After searching many days and nights, my digging efforts finally produced the fossil known as amber. I can only hope no scientist ever attempts to recreate these frighteningly magnificent creatures. Expedition log, day 58. Daisy Mae is once again trying to distract me from my research by asking me to buy her wares. I don't think she realizes how little research assistants actually make. She and her Gram will just have to take their business elsewhere. On the bright side, I found the Corporalite, which means there is but a single fossil left to donate for the standalone fossil exhibit. Expedition log, day 62. My search has stalled once again. Despite thoroughly checking the excavation site each and every day, I was somehow gifted an extra 5th fossil some days ago, but this also turned out to be another duplicate. I can only hope today's expedition means the end of our fossil drought. Exquisite! All jokes aside, I was so relieved to finally be donating the next fossil. And now with the Triceratops checked off, there's only 3 fossils left to donate. The ammonite, the left Quetzalwing, and the saber-toothed tail. Place your bets now which order we'll find them in. Go on. Place your bets. Do it. With only 3 fossils left, and our longest streak without fossils being only 5 or 6 days, we could potentially finish in just under 10 hours. Oh. Yeah, we're definitely getting fired from this job. Over the course of this expedition, I've seen a lot of fossils. Like, a lot of fossils. So I can say without a doubt, we've gone way over odds for these remaining fossils. Which, yes, I knew going in this would probably happen, but I didn't think it would happen for so many of them. Expedition Log, Day 77. It's been 14 days since our last new discovery. Progress has continued to slow, but our pockets continue to grow. But what are profits when you could be rich with knowledge, eh? The search continues with little help from the other assistants of Dinoland. It was on Day 77 there was finally a breakthrough. At long last, the search was over, and we donated the ammonite, which marked the completion of the standalone fossil exhibit. Not only is it getting the Definitely a Pokemon award, but it also places 3rd for the Took You Long Enough award. It was super inspiring to finally get this section done, and it really motivated me to get the last 2 fossils as fast as possible. Surely, this is the sign that we can keep the expedition under 12 hours, right? Dang it! While I knew it was a long shot, I really didn't want to see the expedition take this long. Don't get me wrong, this has been fun, but there's not a whole lot of ways I can make this more entertaining than it already isn't. But after another 13 days of searching, I saw this. 2 fossils. That's messed up. The one time I had 2 of the same new fossil, it's when I had exactly 2 fossils left to donate. I couldn't even enjoy it. Saber-toothed skull, take your silver medal and get out of here. I don't even want to see you right now. I had to pause the expedition to deal with this betrayal. Expedition Log, Day 94. After giving the matter some thought, I decided not to throw the entire expedition away. Instead, I will carry on and continue my search for the remaining fossil. And I know Blathers will be so pleased once we bring him the left Quetzalwing. Expedition Log, Day 100. It's been nearly a week since my return to the hunt. Nothing to report except that the expedition's funds have increased exponentially. There may be enough to open a second museum someday. Expedition Log, Day 103. I have made the decision to finally enter the marketplace of this fine excavation site. I had hoped not to become distracted by their impeccable selections, and was greeted by one Mabel the Hedgehog. After procuring several of their finest shovels, I went back to my search. Expedition Log, Day 115. It's been 12 days since my last entry. I'm beginning to lose hope that the left Quetzalwing will ever be found, and that Blathers will enlist the help of another assistant to finish the job in my stead. I simply cannot allow it. It's been 3 hours since we made our last donation, and I'm happy to report that we still haven't found the last fossil. On Day 117, I was ready to pause on the expedition and look up any guide that might know some kind of way to help find fossils. I'd already done some research, but at this point I was getting a little desperate. This is what you so-called museum enthusiasts like about this game? The grueling labor, the waiting? Maybe I was wrong about the museum being fun. Oh my god! Finally! Take this burden from my hands. Anyway, with the left Quetzalwing snatching the most problematic award, this brings this expedition to a close and my time as Blathers' assistant to an end. 15 hours, 39 minutes, and 11 seconds. But we're not done yet. The exhibit may be done, but Blathers promised us this sick poster as a reward, and we need to see what it looks like. It's no raise, but, you know, poster's cool too. Is this some sick twist of fate? It's really Friday the 13th. Let's just see what this poster looks like. Ooh, sick. Well, that officially brings us to the end of this expedition. It's sad to see Dinoland go extinct, but all good things must come to an end. And to anyone thinking, the fossil exhibit doesn't actually take 16 hours to complete, this is fake. I'm with you. Not for a second did I think this one exhibit with total dedication would take so long to complete, let alone that one fossil was going to take me over 3 hours to find. But that's just the luck of the draw, I guess. Thanks for sticking around to the end. If you enjoyed watching me slowly lose my grip on reality, consider leaving a like, and subscribe if you want to see me do it again. But that's all for me. Catch you in the next one.